All right, folks, here we go. First of all, I always want to just thank you with all my heart for making it easier on me to deal with just ministerial stuff, to deal with life, to deal with just keeping this whole thing going without, sometimes the knowledge I have is enough to push, most people to a point of mental exhaustion, emotional exhaustion. I mean, when the Lord God shows you that the whole Vatican is really a big snake wearing a crown, and that the mouth of the snake, the altar on the inside, the mouth of the snake is really a big dead sheep, and it turns into a vagina when you turn it upside down. That kind of spiritual revelation, to be the conduit for it, is emotionally draining. It's hard to explain. I know that the end of the world is coming. Not the end of, a country, not the end of, some, war. I mean the end of the world and the resurrection of the dead. Don't forget, the Bible says that, some to everlasting contempt. And we literally have a pit that's going to open up. And out of that pit are going to come locusts upon the earth that have the power to sting men. That's what that Taylor Swift video was about. The Taylor Swift video is literally from the beginning of the world to the end. And it's literally Lucifer saying, are you ready for it? After I do this video tonight, I'll do another update on that Taylor Swift video. Y'all may have remembered a long time ago there was a video that was called Runaway New York. And in it, a lot of people didn't understand what the video was about. First, I want you to understand, I've put this video up before and it's been taken down by YouTube. They took it down because I know what it's about. I know what it's telegraphing. By the way, this video that you're going to watch is really a template. You buy the template and then you plug in what you want to plug into the video. So whoever bought this and plugged in these parts, they knew exactly what's up. This guy right here, this is Adam Weishaupt. Okay, the founder of the Illuminati. You see the number up here, 23 right there? 23. The magic number 23. Chromosomes. Because there's a good you, 23, and a bad you, 23. 23 and 23, 46. That's why Barack Obama read Psalm 46, because the Twin Towers, the two, had become one. So the Twin Towers represented 23 chromosomes, seed of the serpent, 23 chromosomes, seed of the woman. And then George Bush read Psalm 23 at the memorial. Then Barack Obama, where there's the One World Freedom Tower, where the two had become one, read Psalm 46, because that would be the number you get when you add 23 and 23. Twin towers becoming one tower, 46. Notice here the number 23 is backwards. Y'all remember the avocados from Mexico commercial I showed you? The number 23 at the 23-second mark of the video. Half and half paradigm. Okay, now right here, everything's backwards. Everything's written backwards. This is Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Illuminati, the modern day Illuminati. Now this video that I'm going to show you, this thing right here, this was first done in 2013, I believe. Okay. And I broke it down and I showed everybody the parts that were plugged in, and YouTube took down my version. They left everybody else's versions up that I saw, but they took mine down. And once I publish this video, put it on your hard drive. Okay, this is the New York Post, and this was sent to me by a friend of mine, Dave, November 7th, 2017. Stairwell closed. Okay, this is cryptic. I got this email today, and we're going to watch this little video first. Doors are closing. I notice this. You see those two big X's? Female chromosome is double X right there, 2X. Now, is that significant to the video? Well, the whole system, just like I've shown you, the Statue of Liberty, the mother goddess above ground system, host body system, let's call it that. The host body system is ruled over by this, the 2X's, female mother goddess. And look, they're shutting this big door. The New York subway system is getting ready for the next Hurricane Sandy. I don't know, that's weird. It's on November 7th, 2017. That's odd. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority is installing massive 25-ton floodgates and other state-of-the-art measures to protect New York City's train and vehicle tunnels in 2012. The salt water obviously got in there, messed things up. But this is November 7th, 2017, because this is a message. I saw this, Dave sent this to me yesterday, and today I don't go to Starbucks, folks. I just don't go there anymore. I happened to stop in. I was talking to a friend on the phone, and I stopped in and I ran, and they had a 2-for-1 deal. So I ran in to grab a latte, and I looked down and I saw the New York Post. The New York subway system is getting ready. Well, if there's a cryptic meaning, what would it be? Let's see, the doors are shutting, double X. So they're showing water all over the streets of New York. Notice how everything about this video I'm showing you is they're shutting the doors. The doors are all being shut. Gigantic castle-like doors can be shut with 30 minutes notice. Interesting. Usually when I see numbers like that, numbers are usually significant. I looked up the number 75. Elil meaning Lucifer and Ile meaning to lament in Jewish gematria. Ail meaning Lucifer and Ile meaning to lament. I thought it was interesting that they're telling us that it cost $75 billion in damages, Hurricane Sandy. New York Post. Okay, what an odd thing. Well, let me show you what I saw today. So here when I walked in, I looked down and I saw this scene right here, and what I read was very odd. It said a chilling preview. A chilling preview. Steam rising from a manhole on Friday in Manhattan, where the high was 38 degrees. The weather will again be wintry on Saturday. Okay, so the article is supposed to be about a chilling preview of the weather, and all this smoke that you're looking at represents the steam that's rising from a manhole. Well, that's weird. I just showed you a video where they're closing up all the subway entries into New York with these massive doors and steel doors, almost like they're telling the elite it's time to cover up, go into the bunkers. I showed you that on that other video the other day with the Nordic skier guy. Now, what I find very odd was, you see all this smoke, and look, you see right here, this is done with intent. As a cameraman and as an artist, you see that right here. You see this done in black, the way he did the shadow black. That cross right there is meant to be the focal point of this picture. There is a cross right here. See the cross? A chilling preview. I think what they're really saying is the chilling preview is the destruction that's coming for Christians. Because, again, this is New York Times, Saturday, November 11th. You can see it right there for yourself. New York Times, Saturday, November 11th, 2017. A chilling preview. Steam rising from a manhole. You know what? That doesn't really even make any sense. Like, who cares? Is that really what should be on the cover of the New York Times. This is the cover page. A chilling preview. Steam rising from a manhole. You're telling me that's what the big deal is for the front page of the New York Times? That doesn't seem right at all. Well, again, I find it very interesting that this at this very same time is this coming out from the New York Post. Shutting all these big doors, double X, getting ready for the next Hurricane Sandy. Is there a big hurricane in the Gulf right now or something I don't know about? Or is this cryptic? Okay, see, there you go. There's water all over the streets. You know, like the $100 bill and the water rushing between the streets. Now I want to show you an image of something. This is the movie Prometheus, where it's all about a new host bodies. They're trying to find their creators, the ones that made the human race. And the Weyland Corporation right here, see it, Weyland? And the Weyland Corporation, you see the two V's making the W, you know, like the city of Waco, Texas, or if you're Marina Abramovich and you're saying cut deeply into your middle finger. The Weyland Corporation that was interested in making artificial intelligence, because remember, David was made by Mr. Weyland, and David ended up taking over. If you paid attention to any of these movies, the movies literally telegraph what they're doing. So anyway, I want you to remember that you saw this W on the Weyland Corporation right here. Just remember, I just showed that to you. And that had to do with the production of artificial intelligence and looking for our creators. And there was this very malevolent, most evil xenomorph that was taking the human host body and using it as an incubating source for its new race. Okay, just remember that. Okay, so see, here's the Weyland Corporation right there. You know, like, look at this wink apple. There's a type of apple. It says wink. The Bible says those that wink the eye devise perverse things. Jesus said, those that hated me without cause, neither let them wink their eye that hated me without cause. Well, look at wink apples. You see, watch this. You see the two intersecting V's and winking. Let's turn that apple upside down and see what it's really doing. Oh, that's one open eye, and it's sucking up the leaf of another plant. You know, like one vine destroying the other, one eating one, you know. Here we go. Here's a nice shirt called Polar. It has one mountain, another mountain. It says nature and man, and the intersection of the two has the all-seeing eye and says polar. Really, that's the Hegelian dialectic right there on the shirt. And here's the top of the One World Freedom Tower, the observation deck. And right there, where this cross is on the floor, is a circle with a W. It's really two intersecting V's with the delta symbol. If anyone's taken chemistry or science, you know delta means change. Okay, so again and again I've shown you and I've proven that the letter W is consistently used by the enemy, the Illuminati. And it's not just when I hate using the word Illuminati because people think it's just a group or something. No. It's a race. The entire human race is run by the Lucifer and his demons. And they are running a host body system that's duplicitous. And that's why they use the letter W. See, W, it's two intersecting V's, and that's the plaque of the London Bridge in London. And if you know about the London Bridge, let me move this a little bit. You know about the London Bridge, then you know that it's got two twin towers, like the twin towers we had that blew up. There, see, there's the London Bridge right there. See it? And there's the plaque for the London Bridge, the Tower Bridge, and it's got two intersecting V's, meaning twins, because the whole human race is a twin system. It is cannibalistic, and it was from the beginning. It's vampiric, just like Cain and Abel. Cain came out first and he murdered Abel. He was a child of Lucifer and this was a child of Adam. Okay, so one murders the other, and when you say it together, it's cannibal. Okay, now I want to show you the Arch of Washington, aka the Arch of Titus. Titus is the emperor that destroyed that destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, and it was the one when Jesus was talking to his disciples in Matthew 25, and he said, "Do you not see all these things?" He didn't say the word buildings. He said, "Do you not see all these things?" Go look up the word things. Him, her, they, them. He was talking about people. He said, "Verily I tell you, there shall not be one stone left upon another that shall not be thrown down," because it's all about DNA. So let me show you. Here is a replica of the Arch of Titus, which is the apotheosis of Titus, and the word apotheosis means man becoming God. So here in New York, they built the Arch of aka Washington. It's not really Washington. This is just an arch representing the apotheosis, and I would argue with you that the image they put that's supposed to be Washington is really Adam Weishaupt. So anyway, here under the arch, right behind this figure right here that's supposed to be Washington, right behind that guy right here, it says exitus acta probat, which means the outcome justifies the deed. And what they're saying is the outcome, the new one host body, which is represented by the One World Freedom Tower. Sorry, I don't have a picture of the One World Freedom Tower right here. The two, one burned the other, one DNA burned up the other one. So the twins, one cannibalized the other one and formed a new host body, and that's why they built the One World Freedom Tower right there where the Twin Towers were. And now there's the One World Freedom Tower. And that all represents the twin system, and that's been going on since the Garden of Eden, Cain and Abel. And that's why people like Marina Abramovic that are in the know, that are witches, and that hide the truth, start their spells with the letter W that are two intersecting V's. So the New York Times decided that on Saturday, November 11th, 2017, that the most important thing they should put on the front of their paper was, in the dead center of this paper, it says, "A chilling preview, steam rising from a manhole on Friday in Manhattan, where the high was 38 degrees. The weather will again be wintry on Saturday." You know what? Who cares? Who cares? But you know what? Here's an image of a cross with the guy standing in front of a cross, and there's all this smoke, and it is truly a chilling foreshadowing of what's coming, because on the $100 bill, they have the destruction of New York City on that arch. And let's look at that. So here is an image of the $100 bill. And here are buildings, right? Here's a building right here. I would argue it's that building right there. And here's water coming racing through the buildings right here. And here's the arch. Here's the new $100 bill. I've taken that image right here and we put it right under here, and there it is. The outcome justifies the deed. I've shown you all across the top right here where the eagle is, which, by the way, is not just an eagle, it's the phoenix. When you look at it closely, what do you see? W, W, W. Okay, they can tell you it's the Arch of Washington, and some of y'all may believe it's the Arch of Washington, but when you examine it closely and you look at the imagery right here, this is the face of a demon here. Those are the eyes and nose, and that's the mouth. Now, let me show you some movies. Here's some movies where they show the Arch of allegedly Washington. I would argue it's Adam Weishaupt. Here's movies that they have where it shows a tidal wave coming through the arch. Well, you know what's really fascinating? I showed you absolute empirical data that right here on what they call the Arch of Washington, let me show you the guy named Adam Weishaupt. That is Adam Weishaupt right here. And this is supposed to be Washington. Right behind him, it says the outcome justifies the deed. Exitus acta probat. It's Latin, and that represents the hidden hand that is running everything, which is Lucifer, the spirit of Lucifer working through humanity. I showed you there's W's all along the top of it. Let me show you something about the movie Prometheus and the W they use for the Wayland Corporation. Let's read what it says. Building better humans. Well, you know what? I am going to show you empirical data that that's exactly what they are doing. I'll prove it. So here you go. They took the Arch of Titus. Right here is the Arch of Titus. They took the Arch of Titus, which is a commemorative arch of Titus destroying Jerusalem in 70 AD, when Jesus said, verily I say to you, there shall not be one stone left upon another. Okay, they destroyed it on the 9th day of Av, which is the 11th month. So it was destroyed on 9/11. What do you think they bombed the Twin Towers on 9/11? September 9th month, 11th day. So, you know, in different parts of the world, the way they do the dates isn't the same as we do them here. Over there, it's, 9/11 is 9th of Av, the 9th day of the 11th month. This is right here, the Arch of, we'll call it Washington, because that's what they say it is. It's got the W's all the way around. The Twin Towers represent two different DNAs, and right here we put two DNAs becoming one, and here's a representation of that. Twin Towers, they got burned down, and the two became one, the One World Freedom Tower. There it is. That's exactly it. These are actual DNA strips right there. Those are actual DNA strips right here. Let's get to this video that came out in 2013. Now remember I told you this is a template. You can buy this template. You can buy it and then you add your own pictures in certain places. So let's go ahead and watch it, and I'll pause it and show you what they've done. You have a system designated location, and then let's start right there. Now, these are the things you get to add. Okay, there we go. Here you have the federal building bombing in Oklahoma City. So whoever did this video, they're the ones that added this. One of the pictures that they added to their template was the federal building bombing in Oklahoma City. Then they added the Twin Towers right here. Then they added the Pentagon right there. Now, as he starts spinning his hand in the circle, this becomes this spinning, gyrating circle of events. Let's see what's in there. There's the Pentagon. Look what's right here. Those are buildings in New York, and more than likely that is debris coming from between the buildings during the Twin Tower bombing when the debris hit and pushed through the buildings. But it looks like water, doesn't it? This is with extreme intent. This looks like water. Do y'all notice something about these letters, these triangles down here? Do those remind you of building better humans? There you go. Letter W. Is it upside down? Doesn't matter. Interesting use of geometry. Let's keep going. Okay, so as this spins, these are the disasters that are printed on the U.S. currency. Why would you print? This person, whoever did this, knows that every disaster is printed on the U.S. currency. Now, as this begins, okay, see, here's that image right here. Is that looks like smoke from the building that fell, or, maybe they're running towards it. Some are going towards it. But it also looks like water that would be rushing between buildings. This is a blurred image. Interesting. Here you have the federal building bombing. You have the JFK assassination. You have all these things going on here that are all orchestrated by the hidden hand. The same hidden hand that was on the Arch of AKA Washington. Again, we're going to look a little more closely at that. Here we have Lincoln being assassinated. You have the JFK assassination. You have the Nazi regime. You have a guy walking on the moon. And all these images seem to have a common denominator. They all seem to have the common denominator that they have been questioned as to have been orchestrated by the, quote, Illuminati, which, again, Illuminati, I don't even like using it like it's a group. Lucifer runs all of them. Until you're set free, you're still part of the system, but there is a hierarchy and there is an elite class that is running it. Federal building bombing, Twin Tower bombing, Pentagon bombing, JFK assassination. Oh, what? Adam Weishaupt. And now over here they have, and notice everything's written backwards because the enemy, they turn things backwards and upside down. Here you have a clock. It says 1. You have the yin-yang symbol. You have images that look like water event, the world, and then a plug like that you would plug into your wall socket. And I believe that these are just obviously cryptic because the yin-yang, the right side up, upside down thing, defines who they are. The timing, who knows, water event, the world, and I believe the plug means the lights are going to go out. Twin Towers, September 11th, April 19th. You have the federal building bombing. Snowden also, I believe, was on April 19th as well. Okay, so far everything they put on your screen, every single one of those images of bombings are printed on your money. Now they're saying, run away. It's backwards. Run away. Sector New York water. Runaway Sector New York water. Be ready. So you have the clock counting down. You have the right side up, upside down paradigm. And you have water, and you have an image of the world, and a plug. There you go. Exitus acta probat. The outcome justifies the deed, right there. So all this fits together. They're doing some strange video on November 7th, which was, 4 days ago, showing water all over the streets of Manhattan, talking about these big doors that are shutting, so they're getting ready for the next Hurricane Sandy. Very odd. I find that very odd. I find it very odd today that a place I don't go, Starbucks, I walked in, and it says a chilling preview, steam rising from a manhole. That is not front cover of the New York Times worthy imagery, unless you're talking really about the cross and the guy in front of the cross. A chilling preview that they're going to be killing Christians. That's what this is. There's no doubt. This is not the front cover of the New York Times talking about cold weather. That is complete nonsense. I believe all these things, again, they're getting everyone's minds ready because of what they're going to do. Okay, let me read to you what the goal is of the Illuminati. By the way, here we go. Here is Adam Weishaupt. Here is allegedly George Washington. And here is the hidden hand that's holding the book. someone will argue, oh, well, that's this guy's hand. I would just say you simply don't have discernment if you don't understand this represents the hidden hand that's running things. Okay, right here, Adam Weishaupt, look right here. That's the same as the Wayland Corporation, building better humans. Right here, is that Adam Weishaupt or is that really George Washington, the Washington Monument? Does it matter? At the end of the day, what really matters is that it says, Exitus Acta Probat. Let me show you what their mission statement is so you know what these guys are all about. And this is what's going on in our government right now. Adam Weishaupt. Monetary and sex bribery was to be used to obtain control of men already in high places. Like Bill Clinton, the Bush family, Hillary Clinton, and all these people that have been caught in this Pizzagate and that are all entwined in it. Yeah. So sexual bribery and monetary bribery was to be used to obtain control of men already in high places in the various levels of all government and other fields of endeavor. Once influential persons had fallen for the lies, deceits, and temptations of the Illuminati, they were to be held in bondage by application of political and other forms of blackmail, threats of financial ruin, public exposure, physical harm, even death to themselves and loved ones and members of their families. So that's their mission statement of those guys. And again, I would challenge you to say, is that, the Arch of Washington? Well, one thing we do know about Washington, and if you know anything about the rotunda that's in the Capitol building, which represents a birthing, represents a pregnant womb, the big dome. Let me show you something about that. There's George Washington up here with the as above, so below hand sign. And one group is right side up, one group is upside down. It says e pluribus unum, many out of one. So Satan has become many out of one by birthing himself into the human race through Cain. This is just fascinating stuff. I believe that these things that I happened to see today, I believe these are obvious heads up markers, and one other reason I'll look you in the eye and tell you that is, there's been certain times that the Lord has told me to do certain things, and the Bible says, my sheep hear my voice. Well, I've done some things because I heard the Lord tell me to do them. And he has proven emphatically that he was the one that told me to do it, like laying hands on people that were blind in one eye or people that had incurable eye problems. That seems to be the one thing he has me specialize in as far as a gift of healing. He's communicated to me very clearly to make final preparations now. And when I say that, I'm not trying to prepare to survive anything that's coming. But you need to prepare your heart. And if there's people around you that you don't think believed the message at all, might be good to leave them an extra 10 bottles of 1 gallon water laying around with the DVD or a note saying, I loved you. And I'm sorry if you're here, but we tried to warn you this was coming. Because we know it's coming. I know it's coming. A chilling preview rising from a manhole in Manhattan. A chilling preview. Smoke. That just does not ring true to what should be the cover of the New York Times. What a strange video to put out. So this is the New York Post. One's the New York Times, one's the New York Post, And then when I give you the data points that the Lord's allowed me to see, and you add it all together, it becomes just, almost embarrassingly obvious what their plans were. Their plans were to create another race, and using the energy of God's angels, God's children, as the source of that energy. And we all got caught in host body systems. And that's what the Twin Towers represented. And they got burned down because it's like spirit cooking. One burns the other. And then a new thing arises, like the One World Freedom Tower, where they have a world, but they don't want the Lord God in it because they apostatized. Satan and the rebels. They left their positions. Anyway, very interesting stuff. I believe the time is imminently upon us any moment. All right. Again, I'm going to go over the Taylor Swift video again. Unbelievable. I'll look at you. Unbelievable what's in that Taylor Swift. Are you ready for it? It goes from the Garden of Eden to the locust coming out of the pit. It's really amazing. I mean, I got to give it to, the enemy is really good at what he does. But his time has come. He's really good at what he does. He is able to put cryptically in front of everybody exactly what he's doing. And if you know the truth, you'll be able to discern it. If you don't, it'll be like, just like Jesus said, they'll see, but they won't see. They'll hear, but they won't hear, and they will not understand. And Jesus also said through one of his servants that in the end, because they had pleasure in unrighteousness, God will send them strong delusion. And if you can't turn on MSNBC, CNN, and you can't turn on 99% of television and know that it is complete delusion, then you're probably part of it, because it's gotten that bad. All right, folks. Well, listen, God bless you. And again, thank you, everybody. The people that already stood up and took the burden off me. I am so grateful. I just can't tell you. The information itself that I have is so weighty. It's so emotionally weighty. It's just hard to deal with that on a daily basis. All right. God bless.